All right, we're back with the Bachelorette recap, week 2 of Jenn Tran's journey to find love. And we are down under with the boys. We go on a group date with half the men to a fun food market, which is a great date to go and try some local fare. Devin is the first one he's running up to meet her. He is excited. They try some fun foods. They try Vegemite. Nobody likes the Vegemite, which I will say in our household, we have made the trick is for Americans, the trick is you want to cut the Vegemite with some butter, and that is good on toast. They also take a whiskey shot with a desert oyster in it, which is a kangaroo ball. And they buried the lead on that one because they all took that shot before finding out it was a kangaroo ball. I think Sam spit it out. One of them spit it out, and I don't think Jen tracked it, but you know that he doesn't go down on women. I'm not saying kangaroo balls are the same as vaginas, but he has there's no adventurous spirit there. He's icked out easily, and probably just pretty vanilla in the sack, I would say. Sam is and I think Sam is struggling overall, which is not shocker. The virgin is struggling. Okay, I'm telling you, not encouraging people to have sex, but I guess maybe I am because I do firmly believe in ripping off that band-aid as soon as you think you're ready, because it's no life. It's not. It doesn't help you to go through life as a virgin, and that's why we have this incel problem, etc., etc. Okay. Anyway, I digress. Devin steals Jen to take some gelato, and then she very earnestly asks him. He says, I want to open my own gelato shop. And she says, oh, really? Is that what you want to do? Oh, but do you? What is your ambition? I don't know what Devin's job is, but I thought that was a funny tidbit. Then the boys are mad. Aaron's mad, which is kind of the theme of the episode. The boys crash the gelato moment. And this is where the producers I think, have stepped up their game a little bit this season, because they've perfectly set up. Devin thought he was getting a win because they helped him to navigate this little gelato date. But then they go directly to a comedy show where all of the men immediately start roasting him and, dare I say, bullying him, which puts him on his back foot, I think, a little bit. And it just starts conflict. So very nice chess moves there from a production standpoint. Devin, he goes up first, and then he goes up first, so then that leads everybody else. That also sets him up to be roasted, because then everybody in the audience is introduced to him. He makes a fraternal joke. It doesn't land. Jeremy calls Devin ugly. Sam N roasts him. Jonathan roasts him. Aaron calls him the budget Pete Davidson, which, that tracks. And here we have the first, he's got a target on his back. Okay, then we get to the evening portion. Jonathan steals her. He's wearing glasses, which do make him look smarter. And I'm seeing, all of a sudden I'm seeing a new side of him that is making me respect him more, because his ass isn't out. And now he's not just a piece of meat. Now he's an intellectual because of the glasses. And Jenn, I think, is styled really well. I think the one who they did dirty was Katie Thurston a couple seasons ago. So I'm pretty sure every other Bachelorette has looked pretty stunning. I think maybe Rachel might have had some funny peasant tops, but Jenn looks incredible. She's wearing this really fun gold dress with this crazy feathery thing, and I was surprised that maybe they didn't, they just didn't make the cut, but I'm surprised none of the boys were like, what's this? I feel like it would have been such a fun thing to flirt with her with around those feathers, and a great opportunity to be silly. I would have been all over it. Anyway, then back with the boys, Aaron calls out Devin. Then she's with Grant sitting on the sofa, and he asks, what shaped you into the woman that you are? Okay, Grant, Forget it. That is the most annoying question I have ever heard in my life. It sounds kind of like a job interview, and also it sounds like something that you would get asked on like Good Morning America, or like like a daytime talk show, like Oprah in the 90s. So I didn't like that. I'm not turned on by Grant, even though I know he's so beautiful. He's such a beautiful man, but I didn't like that. And then he says he wants a family stat. He's lying. They have their first kiss, and he says he's floating, and the kiss does look pretty hot. It looks incredible. I think Grant might be the best kisser that we've seen so far. Meanwhile, the boys are at home, and they get the date card, and Army Ranger Marcus gets the one-on-one, which I did see on Bachelor data that in the Bachelorette, no first date has ever won. And 4 of the 7 who made it to the final 4 dropped out on their own. One of them being Greg Grippo, who we kind of, I think, do know that he was her first pick. I think. Anyway, so I'm just saying, I think Marcus has a chance, even though the data doesn't reflect it. But because of Greg Grippo, I mean, he was her number 1. Marcus could be. Not sure about the kissing, though. I don't think he's as good of a kisser as the others, but decent. Anyway, we'll get to it. So anyway, we're back with the boys, and Aaron is grilling Devin, and he starts name calling. Okay, he calls Devin Dylan. He calls him a boy. He calls him delusional, and he calls him childish. Aaron, I thought was one of the hottest men in the house, and no more. It's not attractive. It's like, just take it easy. Stay in your lane. You're in Australia. Aaron talks to Jenn. He feeds her some bullshit. And Jenn looks like a Disney princess. Aaron says he says, I swear I'm not the serious guy. It's like, yeah, you are. You are the serious guy. Devin crashes. The tables have turned. Devin crashes by wheeling in some ice cream, and Jenn goes, "Hello, Mr. Ice Cream." So she's happy to see Devin. She doesn't want to be with serious Aaron. And then Aaron says he's going to lose it, which I think he needs to learn some self-control, because who gives a shit? Anyway, Jenn says that she thinks that Devin is fun, and she doesn't think he's egotistical, and they're having a great time. And Aaron is also wearing a pearl necklace, which it's not really working for me. Then Jonathan is talking to Aaron. He's gassing him up, and he tells him to get back in there and steal Jenn back. And Aaron steals her back. And there's a few mistakes. So first, he goes back empty-handed. If you got stolen, if your time got stolen by a man bringing in ice cream, then you need to one-up that. You need to go to the producer and say, "Hey, quick, help me. What can I do to make this an even more fun, even bigger steal?" And he doesn't do that. He just comes in with this salty ass attitude. And then he says, "Sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt." And Jenn says, "Well, it's okay. You kind of are, but that's okay." Not a great sign. And then this is where Jenn starts to get annoyed. Devin kisses Jenn, I think for the first time. It looks good. I will say the kissing looks good. And Aaron is wrong, and the boys are wrong. And this is giving similar to Braden hate. They keep saying that he's fake, he's fake. It's like, no, this is who he is. Like, maybe you think he's annoying because he's obnoxious and he keeps stealing the girl, but he's being who he is. He's not being fake. Also, then she goes and she's going to go grab the group date rose. And I was so afraid her feathers were going to catch on fire. I mean, it would just go up like the Hindenburg. And Grant gets the rose because I think that kiss was hot. I think he's a very good kisser. All the men are kind of salty and grumbling. And then they cut to Jenn, and she's just humming to herself while she's eating that bowl of ice cream that Devin brought. So she's having a great time. And that's really all that matters. Then we go on the date with Marcus, okay? And Marcus is sexy. His voice is sexy. They go on a skydiving date. He's so excited to be getting to take care of her. He gets to be the hero. I will say that her ponytail is going to take out an eye. That ponytail is too long for skydiving. I was afraid. It just, it, I don't know. It would come at you like a whip. They jump out. They're elated. I do wish that Marcus could have been her, like, been the one to, like, be her piggyback. I think that would have been hot. But, you know, whatever, libel rules, whatever. Marcus and Jenn are living. They are full of adrenaline. They have their first kiss. I couldn't tell if it was good or not, but I think they were super excited to be, like, in each other's arms. He says he's a little afraid to open up. That means he's going to. Okay, then they have their date night in a library. The ceilings are always too high in these places. I want to see them in a little alcove. I want to see them getting cozy. She's wearing a beautiful black glitter dress, killing it again. He tells more about his life. He was an Army Ranger for 8 years. His job was to go on raids, pick up the bad guys. And then on his last deployment in Afghanistan, a grenade went off in the room that he was in. It was the longest 3.5 seconds of his life. And his boys, their fathers, brothers, uncles, sons, they went in that fire and they saved his ass. And then he was in the hospital and he had to learn how to walk again. I mean, Jesus, Marcus. I mean, hot, hot, hot. And then, and he's like crying, but it's like he's not crying because of the trauma. It didn't feel to me like he was crying because of the trauma. It felt like he was crying for the sanctity of his life. Like he was crying for like how grateful and like how precious he sees his life now, and like how much love he has for his boys, and like how he wants to like it was, I mean, hot. Like he's a hero. It was pulling at my heartstrings. Marcus. And okay, and then he gets a rose. They have a kiss. It looks decent. I don't know if it's as passionate as some of the others that we have seen and will be seeing, but I would say if it looks like a kiss that would work, that could potentially work long term. I don't think it, it didn't look bad. It just didn't look as passionate or like wet maybe as some of the others, but it did look decent. And I think and the ways that she was talking about it, I think she's really attracted to him and into him. Also, I want to say that I'm really relieved that there was no country music. I hope that doesn't come back. They need to stop those concerts with just 2 people. It is awkward. Even though they did have Feist recently, but still. Anyway, what a relief. None of those one-on-one country concerts. Okay, then we're on the second group date, and they're in the outback, and they are gonna be taking photos with some wallabies and some koalas and some other creatures from the bush. Anyway, we have Jenn posing with some koalas, very cute. The boys walk up. Sam is paired with Blue, who is a monitor lizard. Sam M, the one that she had the feral kiss with. And then I wrote Alba. There's not an Alba. Somebody gets posed with a barn owl. The mullet guy has a furry thing. Thomas has a furry thing. Sam N has some kind of squirrelies with him. Hakeem, poor Hakeem, he told somebody early on that he had a fear of spiders, and they put him with Goldie the spider, and that poor guy, I mean, he was really trying, and it's not even going to be a good picture. They should have like given him the spider and then given him the koala for having to deal with the spider, quite honestly. It wasn't nice. And then they want to put Jenn with Melanie the snake, and she does not like snakes. And who steps up but Dylan? And Dylan wins the date because he stepped up and he helped her with her fear of snakes and took the photo with her. So I felt really bad for Hakeem because he was way more scared, and he didn't have to take that picture, but he did. Anyway, but Dylan, you know, I think she's more attracted to Dylan, and can we blame her? Okay, they have a dinner together. Meanwhile, back at the house, the Safari boys come home and they're in a bad mood, and they ask for more time tomorrow at the cocktail hour that's scheduled for the next day before the rose ceremony, and Devin agrees. Meanwhile, Dylan and Jen are chit-chatting. He's waiting to get his MCAT test results back. They're talking shop. He tells her that he played a lot of chess growing up. He's a cute nerd. She loves it. They're having a great time together. He gets a rose, and they have the first kiss that we've seen of them, and it also looks good. I think we've got a group of good kissers here. Back with the boys, Devin is still wearing his puffer coat, which, take it off. Make yourself at home, Devin. Aaron is still salty. Aaron calls Devin Dylan again. He is losing this battle. I mean, okay, and then here's where the name call. Then Aaron brings up the big guns and he calls him a bully. And I took a tally of all of the names that he's been calling. He keeps saying that Devin is the immature one, but name calling is kind of the basest. It's pretty grade school maturity level. It's not evolved. So he calls him. I did a count. He said he called him the budget Pete Davidson. He called him Dylan not once but twice. Called him the wrong name twice. He said he was a boy. He said he was delusional. He said he was childish, and he said he was a bully. So that's 6. And guess how many times Devin has called Aaron a name? 0. I haven't heard it. I haven't heard him do that. And then Aaron does the ultimate in condescension and gives Devin a self-help book. It's not looking good, Aaron. And it's such a shame because he's such a beautiful, hot man. And he is just digging his own grave. And I think Devin handled the conversation pretty well, actually. He gets the book and he's just like, all right, thank you. I can't wait to read this. Thanks, Aaron. I appreciate it. That's the right answer. Anyway, cut to the cocktail party, and Thomas N is also starting to lose it. Jen looks incredible. She's having a great time. She says this is one of the best weeks of her life. Devin steals her. First one. And it is on. It is war. He's sweating talking to her, and I kind of think the conflict and everybody coming at him is now, he's still acting like the words he's saying are just like, I don't care about you guys, but he seems agitated, and I think the negativity is really starting to make him feel bad. I think I think his feelings are hurt, and he's like starting to be not, he's starting to lose it. They're all starting to lose it. So then Thomas goes in, but he doesn't go in for Jen. He goes in to talk to Devin. No, Thomas, no. And they start getting into a fight. They're yelling at each other. Jen is alone, and she's eavesdropping, which is so great. Devin says, no one deserves anything in this life. And Jen goes, kind of true. And then Sam M drops the first, Devin is not here for the right reasons. So we are hot into this episode. We got the first he's not here for the right reasons, and we've also got a target on someone's back. We've got a target on Devin's back. So we are hot into episode 2 with these conflicts. Thomas explains to Jen the fight, and Jen says, well, you're kind of taking my agency away. You're taking away my independence because I'm also choosing to talk to Devin right now. If I didn't want to, I wouldn't be. And then this is where Thomas, he knows he's fully lost face. I don't think he's coming back from this. He looks just defeated the rest of the episode. I kind of feel bad for him. He really blew it. Then Sam M enters. They change rooms. He's like, let's, there's bad vibes in here. Let's get a new change of scenery. Hot. They make out. It's very hot. They have a lot of chemistry. I think he is bad news bears. He just is screaming fuckboy to me. I know that's hot, but It makes me, he seems like scary to me. Like, I don't like that. Even though he's so hot, but it's scary. I just feel like he's lying. Like, I feel like it's all disingenuous. The boys keep fighting. She has a kiss with Jonathan. They say they're looking for the same things. I didn't get that she kisses Spencer. I didn't get the feeling that actually she was enjoying Spencer that much, but in the preview, he's there. So who knows what's going on with that. Then Devin and Thomas are having it out in the yard. They're fighting more. Thomas calls him a bitch. And I think Devin is feeling bullied, and I think that's why he's continuing this fight, because he's just like, I think he feels like he's backed into a corner. Then we have King Jesse Palmer arrives, and he says that we are going to be doing roses. And then Tom, also this other quote comes out. So we've got here for the wrong reasons, target on his back. And then Thomas says, all a man has is his word. I don't think that's all he has, Thomas. Anyway, we're doing roses. Yay! Okay, so 3 men already have roses. That's Grant, Marcus, and Dylan. And she's made out with all of them. So then she gives one to Austin, the guy with the mullet. She gives one to Hakeem. She gives one to Spencer, who they made out. She gives one to Jeremy, Jonathan. They've made out. Rose to John. Rose to Thomas A. Rose to Sam M. They've made out, obviously. Rose to Devin. They've kissed. Then Sam N. Aaron and Thomas N. get roses, which means that Jahan, Botox Brian, and Marvin have gotten the axe. So 15 men remain. I think, so I'm changing my top 4. Aaron is no longer top 4. I still think it's going to be Marcus, Sam M., Devin, and now I'm thinking Grant, but also maybe Jonathan might be a sleeper in there too, because sometimes they hide him. In the preview, it looked like I saw her kissing Spencer. I just don't feel it was Spencer, maybe because I'm just not that into Spencer, but they go on a one-on-one. Maybe I just don't see him advancing to the final 4. I don't know. She's also kissing Grant, and I think she's also kissing Aaron, but I don't see him making Final 4. I have, the person who's a tattletale never makes it far. So that's it. That's my predictions. 15 remain. And I think we're in Australia again next week. Hopefully we'll be in another state. I love Australia. Shout out to the Interview Boss girls who give great job advice, and also to Kayla Itzinas. What a great fitness guru. And there's also that actor who is in that Stephen King miniseries. I can't remember what it's called, but I love him. I think he's also in Bloodline. I think he dies in the first episode. Okay, anyway, that's it for me. I will be back. Have a great week.